Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, we're Revelations chapter 21 and 22, last two chapters of the Bible, and we're talking about heaven. I love how the Bible ends on the subject of heaven. Yes, my friend, sin came into the world and corrupted creation and brought the curse of death upon mankind, but God has the final word, and because of the redemptive blood of the Lamb of God, we can look forward with great hope to the place called heaven. And John here now has given us this description of the holy city coming down from God out of heaven. I think there's several things that we definitely want to notice, and that is verse 3. He said he heard the voice from heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he, God, will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God." You know, the most important thing about heaven and the most important thing about eternity is God will be there. God will be with his people. God brings his children together, and they are in heaven with him, and he shall be their God. Oh, my friend, what wonderful words that make us think back to the Lord's Prayer that we call in Matthew chapter 6, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Our Father, he is their God. He is our Father. He's personal with us. And what a wonderful thing to know we have a God that's not far off, but he's a God that is near. He will be with them. He will be their God. Oh, my friend, when you have the God of heaven, you have the God of eternity as your God. If God be for you, oh, Paul said in Romans 8, who can be against us? How awesome is that? And he's going to wipe away every tear. No more pain, no more sorrow. The former things have passed away. And then he who sat on the throne said, "Behold, I make all things new." And he said to me, "Write, for these words are true and faithful." And I like that also, in the fact that, many times people say things that aren't true and they're not faithful words. They never come to pass. But boy, when God, the God of heaven, speaks, he says these words are faithful and true. And then in verse 6, "And then he said to me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts, and he who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son." Oh, goodness, how awesome is that? And so we see heaven is not only a beautiful place, it's a place where God's people dwell with their God. Oh, we have something to look forward to. And then we notice that he says he's making all things new. And here he says, "I'm going to give you of the water of the fountain of life freely to those who thirst." Oh, can you imagine what it would have been like for the many hundreds of thousands of believers during the days of the Apostle John when they were being persecuted and they experienced tremendous thirst. Now they're being told in heaven, oh, the God of heaven who says, "I'll be their God and they will be my son." He said, "I'm going to give them freely of the water of life." Oh, don't you remember Jesus himself said, "I am the water of life." You know, when we come to drink of the living water, Jesus said, "If you drink of the water that I give you, you will never thirst again." Remember the lady in John chapter 4 at the well, and she was getting ready to draw her water, and Jesus said, "Would you draw me some water?" And she said, "Well, what are you asking me for that? I'm not a Jew. I'm a Samaritan. You normally wouldn't even be talking to me." And Jesus said, "Yeah, but if you would ask me to draw you some water," he said, "I would give you water to drink that you'd never thirst again." Oh, the things of this world cause us to have even more thirst, but Jesus will give us the water of life, the fountain of the water of life, Jesus Christ himself, and we will totally, absolutely be satisfied. And I think that's what he's speaking of here when he says, "I'm going to give you the water of life and you can drink freely of it," because Jesus absolutely, totally satisfies. And when you drink of him, you receive him, you have really what you've been looking for all your life. Well, I trust that you'll read these verses with us, be encouraged, and know that we have the fountain of the water of life, that we will be satisfied with Christ for eternity. Well, God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.